Here we go. All right, we are live, and friends, people watching, fellow
How's it going?
collectors.
I got my peach sweet tea.
We got Rob with the
No
sweet
better
peach
way.
tea, as always.
My favorite movie.
I got the Timmies.
Oh, Tim Hortons, man. I've only been to. Okay, before we get into that, guys, we want to talk about some branding. You might have noticed we have a new logo, or a logo. It's not new because we haven't had one before. Welcome to the first episode of the DC Infinite Hour.
Yes, fantastic. Rob, you did a fantastic job on that logo. That's amazing.
Beautiful design, Rob. Thank you. So,
Yeah.
friends, we are going to try and make this let's say by month or twice a month at least. I don't want to overcommit ourselves because we're all, got things going on, but at least twice a month, if not hopefully more. We'll spend an hour, maybe less, maybe more of our time with you guys talking about everything DC. So here we are, first inaugural episode. The last stream, we'll just call that a test run.
Yeah.
So this is like the first
that's fair.
episode. Is that right? I think
that's
so.
fair.
How do you see how many people are in the chat?
So at the top left,
I can't. I don't know.
There's a little. You can't see how many people are in the chat, but you can see how many people are viewing.
Yeah.
Like 35.
35 currently. Hello, 35 people.
Hello, friends. I'm not going to go through everyone who's commenting, but thank you, the meme team. Roland's here again.
Someone said,
Victor,
"Is this a thing now?" So,
Corn Viper, it is a thing.
Yes.
Now.
yeah,
It is a thing now.
Like
It is
Ahsoka said, we're gonna try at least twice a month, if not at least once a month.
Yes, I like that, Rob. Lower those expectations, right? Because
And then if you get an extra episode occasionally, then that's a bonus, right?
And if you guys want to shoot us like the stuff that you'd like us to talk about, let us know.
Ooh,
Ideas.
That.
It's actually better when you folks send us ideas as well, because that means we're actually covering things that you're interested in. Right. And that's a huge part of why we do this. We like talking to each other, but we also want to talk about things that you'll be interested in.
Absolutely.
So yeah, shoot ideas for sure.
The first question, Brad, do you have a Booster Gold
by DC Direct? I do. I have the one from the Justice League International. That's the one that I have.
That's a nice one.
I don't have the other one though.
That's a nice goofy one. The other one is from 52, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never got that one.
That's a nice one. I don't have it, but it is nice.
So we'll do a couple of questions to start off with. We do have some topics, but while we're rolling here, let's take some of these questions here. Any of you guys played Gotham Knights?
I have it, but I haven't played it yet.
Oh, so you have it?
I have it.
Oh, you little.
I have not. I purchased another game, and then Gotham Knights came out the next day, so I blew my game budget. Yeah. I purchased Dying Light 2, so I haven't played it yet.
I'm still playing Valhalla, Assassin's Creed. I love that game.
Yeah, apparently it's a good game. I haven't touched it yet. The last one I played was when they were on like pirate ships and all like yar and get the loot and stuff like that.
I don't have a PS5, so womp womp for Ahsoka the Geek. I've been trying to get one.
Well, I was gonna say most people don't have a PS5. It's been out for 2 years, and most people still can't get their hands.
I know you can only buy it. You can only play Gotham Knights on a PS5
or on the Xbox.
That's true.
Yeah, I have a one, and I have an Xbox Series X, like the new one that looks like a big trash can.
I can't. Morally, I'm a PlayStation guy. Nintendo and PlayStation. I can't do Xbox. I don't know what it is.
I think for me, and I don't mean to distance myself from anybody, but I try not to give Bill Gates and Microsoft money just because I'm a Mac guy. But that's me.
Hey, that's, to be fair, as far as my understanding goes, it was Mac that came up with the mouse, keyboard, monitor system before Windows did. And apparently Windows was like, what's that over there? It looks nice. And they basically like high school kids cheating on their science test.
Yeah.
But didn't Xerox make it first? Then
technically, yes.
Steve
Xerox did do the
Xerox, and then Bill Gates started from them. Yeah. Xerox.
I didn't know that.
Brad, you got to watch Pirates of Silicon Valley. It's an old made-for-TV movie starring Noah Wyle, and it's great. It has the whole what we just talked about, the plot of the movie.
Pirates of Silicon Valley.
Yeah, highly recommended, bro.
Are they all jacked up on Adderall?
No, definitely not. That would have been even more entertaining.
And accurate, too.
Hey, look at this comment, dude. Look at this. Glad that this is a thing now. So many other live streams, while great, Sweet McFarlane DC to the side. My friend, we definitely don't do that here. We're literally
Yeah.
playing, with McFarlane.
In fact, my
But,
Frankenstein
right
and
there.
Mongol is coming tomorrow.
Oh, mine's coming Monday.
Dude,
I
I
haven't
forgot to
planned it.
order it until Rob asked me, and I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
didn't get it first because I'm 4 hours away from where they
Yeah.
ship apparently.
Yeah.
So,
Gaff.
rookie mistake.
Yeah.
That's gonna cost me some views, guys.
Oh
it
no.
won't.
It's gonna cost
No,
me
you-
some views.
You'll be okay. Your channel is starting to come up, eh?
Dude, I love
It
I love my YouTube channel. This is small. We got about 3,000, not even 3,000, but I have a few people on there who leave very nice comments.
Yeah.
Very nice people. And that for me is enough.
You're,
Yeah.
you're
You
very
know?
pleasant. You're probably the
Thank
most
you.
pleasant reviewer
Oh,
I think
yes.
on the entire platform.
Guys, stop.
You are. You're just so like I don't always comment on your videos because I watch them from my bedroom on a different account, so I can't comment all the time. But you're just so pleasant. Like
Oh.
even when you're mentioning something that you don't like I feel like I'm a pretty pleasant guy. I'll talk about stuff that I don't like with the
Yeah.
figures, and I kind of make a joke about it. But that's nothing compared to you. You're just like everything
Wow.
is so upbeat with you.
Yeah,
Hey,
I mean,
listen,
at the end of
guys.
the day, it's just a toy, right? Like,
And I love
Yeah.
these things. I love these
it's not
things.
the end of the world.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we have some questions, a lot of questions coming in. Why don't we go into some of these topics first, then come back to the questions when we're running out of things to talk about? There's a lot of great
Yeah,
questions.
and maybe we
coming
can
on.
scroll up and look at some of the questions because I can see them, and there
Yeah.
are some really great questions, and I'd
Some
hate to
great
lose
questions.
them.
Oh no, we can
because we've
scroll
gone
up.
down
They
further.
will be
Yeah,
scroll-
so we'll
oh,
scroll
yeah.
up and get them after.
So let's talk about Black Adam
Yeah.
first. What do you guys think? So first of all, Black Adam
Spoilers ahead.
spoilers. For anyone who has not seen Black Adam, I would tune out for the next few minutes, and I will
Yep.
remove this banner once we stop talking about the Man in Black.
Yes.
All right, who wants to go first with their take?
Spoilers. Okay, I'm actually dying to hear yours. I want to
Yeah.
hear yours.
Yeah, Soko, you go first.
All right, I'll go first.
Yeah.
So, overall, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I love Dr. Fate. I mean, you guys know I'm a big Dr. Fate fan.
Yep.
Over here, here's my illegally made Etsy helmets.
I'm jealous.
know?
I'm still jealous.
Yeah.
Every time I see that helmet, I'm like, why don't I
Yeah.
have that helmet?
So, oh shit, just fell over. It's okay. That's okay. So I love the movie. I will say this: it strangely felt like it was an amazing movie trying to be like an average movie, if that makes sense. Like there was so much like more interesting ideas,
Yes.
storylines, like the Egypt stuff, or not Egypt, the Kandahar stuff, like, and it was really could have been an epic, but then it sort of wanted to be very just simple and entertaining. So I think in that regards, it was fantastic. The other thing that kind of bothered me was, he was very on the nose with how violent he was. Like,
Yeah.
but I kill people, but I do
Accurate.
this.
It was
I mean,
accurate.
Listen, bro, we get the picture. We get the point. Like, we get it. He went out of his way just to keep saying how he keeps killing people and like
Yeah.
how badass he is. Like, dude, we get it. You're doing it. We don't need to be
Yeah.
told. So that was a little odd. But other than that, dude, first of all, The Rock he was literally born to play this role.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
dude, it was phenomenal casting. I love the Justice Society. They were all great. It was awesome. I mean, I enjoyed it. I saw it twice already. So
Wow.
overall, I loved it. Do I think it was like The Dark Knight or anything like Shakespeare? No, but it was highly entertaining. I'll watch it again. So that's my take, guys. That's my take.
Fair enough. That's good. That's good, actually. I wouldn't have even thought of the whole him mentioning how much he kills. I thought it was kind of necessary because he wasn't a hero. He was just a superpowered being from another time
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
different sense of morality, clearly.
True.
So, and then he's being confronted with all these people telling him not to kill, don't kill. So a lot of those were responses to people kind of giving him crap for attempting to kill or making it look like he was going to kill, right? Like, oh, well, you guys, I waited till you got here before I dropped him. I knew it was going to happen.
I really like that comment you just made about him having a different moral code from a different time.
Yeah.
Like that was a really good observation, bro. You're right. Like that's the way it was back then, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't all this like,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great point, bro. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that point.
It was yeah, I mean, it was very common for a lot of cultures, for example, to either partake in slavery by having
Yeah.
slaves, or like sell off their own people as slaves. Like, it was just a very different. I'm glad we live here now, because it was a very different world then. I mean, sure, we got to deal with like nuclear bombs and stuff, but at least where I am, I can walk down the street and I'm not afraid of like anything, right? Like, I just you know, I feel pretty safe where I am, and the world overall is more safe than it was then. And but I think my take on the movie was, it's a great point to really reset the DC universe in the minds and in the eyes of the general public, because we needed someone who was a big draw, a big box office draw, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Because let's face it, Marvel movies, they have so many people that are actually pretty large names. And I mean, they're draws themselves.
Right.
And if they weren't, they became a draw because of the first few movies they were in, right? And then they just became part of it. Like, a lot of people didn't know or care who Paul Rudd was. And then they did. And I bet you now he's a bigger box office draw than he ever would have been. And you're right, to your point. I think that The Rock was born to play that role in the same way that Ryan Reynolds was to play Deadpool. And he had the same passion for that role as Ryan Reynolds did for Deadpool. So he really wanted to keep the character as true to what he's actually like. I mean, it can't be completely perfect to the character. For one, I mean, try to imagine The Rock with that hair. It just, as much as I like my Black Adam with that hair, it would not work on The Rock.
I forgot about the hair. You're right. That'd have been hilarious if they tried to do that.
But he's good in the face. Like, the face is very, it's a reasonable match. And he's built like a brick shithouse. He's just,
dude,
totally buff, and like no padding on his costume. Like, even Cavill, when he played Superman, they had like a little tiny bit of padding with that silver stuff on it. Nothing for The Rock. So I mean, the guy just filled the suit out really well. I thought that the Justice Society was good. I'm not a fan of Dr. Fate's helmet still. No. I think it looks stupid. Yeah, because he doesn't. Well, because there's no eyes in it, right? There was a second, if you remember, where the eyes kind of showed up. I thought that something more like that would have been cool. Make it ornate and whatever, but it needed the eye holes and it needed to be even. So I didn't like that. I feel like it will become like that on the next owner of it, since Pierce Brosnan, you know, he's no longer going to be wearing the helmet, which he was born for that role too. He was very good in that role.
Dude, so good.
Very good. But the next person probably will have, you know, eye holes in the helmet. Cyclone was like, she was good. Like, she was good as an actress. I liked her portrayal of the character, but I don't know enough about the character to say she did a good or bad job with that role. That's a character I'm not as familiar with. And then, Atom Smasher. He was like, I've heard Atom Smasher referred to as budget mix of Ant-Man and Deadpool. I mean, Deadpool. It's like, that kind of makes sense, because the jokes and the quips, and you know, he can't shrink, but he can get big like Ant-Man, and the mask is very similar to Deadpool's.
He was like a PG Deadpool, like a very sweet, you know.
Well, Cyclone and Atom Smasher, I feel like they were there to break the tension.
Yeah. And
then you had the serious moments with Pierce Brosnan, like more of the serious moments with Pierce Brosnan, Black Adam, and Hawkman. I wasn't super keen on the portrayal of Hawkman.
I agree.
Just because Hawkman to me is, I don't know, just not that. I mean, I know that he could be grumpy. He's like, it's quipped about in the comics that he can be kind of grumpy and stuff, but this guy was all about justice. And Hawkman leading the Justice Society just seemed weird. Like, I would have really liked to see, and I know that the movie would have been too packed, but I would have really liked to see Jay Garrick and Alan Scott.
Yeah.
You know, they're really the people that I see in the front. And it was like, well, it was kind of weird. The overall movie, it was a popcorn flick. It wasn't super deep, but I was highly entertained the entire movie. Like, there was not, I had to go to the bathroom and I was like, okay, this seems like a quiet time. And as soon as I left, what happens? More fighting. And I'm like, damn, I missed a bunch. Right? So yeah, I liked it. Like you said, it wasn't Shakespeare. The story wasn't like super deep, like the Batman or any of Nolan's Batman movies, like nothing like that. But it was just really fun. Yeah. And you can tell it's setting, this is how you set up a wider DC universe, like they should have done, right? Just a Superman cameo at the end lets us know he's back and it's going to get much, much bigger, right? And then also you had the characters that go on to play Isis and Osiris
Right.
were in this. So that means for Black Adam 2, you can bet Superman's in it, and so will Isis and Osiris. Dollars to donuts. We're going to see those three characters with lots of
Which is funny because like in IMDb, it doesn't have her as, what is it, Andrea or whatever her name was. It has her as Isis.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Rob, go. I'm sorry. Continue. What was
Yeah.
your thoughts?
Let's hear what you I act on enough.
First off, I loved it. My wife loved it. I think she loved it actually more than I did. Not saying that I didn't not like it. So Aquaman is like my jam. Even though it wasn't my favorite movie, I put it on par with Aquaman. Batman versus Superman will always be my favorite, followed by the 4-hour Justice League.
Yes. The real Batman v Superman, right?
Yeah.
The Ultimate Edition.
The Ultimate Edition.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I agree.
That to me, I can watch, all day long.
Yeah.
What I loved about Black Adam, and you're right, it was a popcorn flick. I agree with everything you guys said, but I do feel like there were hints of what could have been a bigger story. Like, where were you guys when they were invading the whole time? Right. So I think they could have dove into that more, but I'm a little, you can always find problems with any movie. What I didn't like is how he just started speaking English right away.
Yeah, I thought that. Like, how does he know English?
Yeah. To me, that was just like jarring that he just
It's
wakes
very
up
old
and then all
school
of a sudden,
movie telling technique, right? Where everyone speaks English, no questions asked.
Yeah. Like I thought it would be like the internet or something. I don't know. But I thought that the effects for the entire movie were spot on. Some of the best visual effects that I've seen.
Yeah.
And what also I loved about it was his movements as a superhero, like his speed moves kind of mimicked that of Wonder Woman and the Flash. So I feel it's like a very cohesive, universe that everybody has the same style of movement. So like when he's like punching bad guys or whatever, moving to the next one, I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I love the constant action, that there wasn't a whole lot of downtime. And I did enjoy that. I thought the jokes were okay. They weren't the best, but I laughed out loud. I'm trying to think back to I think my favorite part is when he first appears, right? And then you hear a Paint It Black, and then it goes into that slow-mo
Yeah,
bit.
that's great.
Yeah.
And then I was waiting for the plane scene, and the plane scene never came. So I guess they took that out from the trailer.
Yeah. That'll be on the Blu-ray Ultimate Cut or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would have liked them, and I know it would have made the movie longer, is just give a little bit better backgrounds to some of the people that, we know, but common people, the normies, let's say, just don't
The
know.
Muggles.
They touched on some of them briefly, right? Like Atom Smasher. They touched on his briefly.
Yeah. Cyclone's powers were just so visually beautiful, and she was
great.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Well, not really effective though. Like she was kind of like Storm in the X-Men, but with less. She could just
no lightning behind her.
Right, no lightning, and she looked, like Brad said, visually stunning. Like the slow-mo of her, that was amazing. But then, when she's trying to cage him in that pointless cage, it was like.
I did like also that they used the same actor for Shazam, the Wizard.
Yeah.
That's great cohesiveness. But I would have liked them to confront him more before just locking him up, and just how he went into a rage. Or when he came back, that the Wizard appeared again. Or maybe it's going to be talked about in Shazam, but I doubt it.
Blu-ray.
I would like to have some because when he would say Shazam, or even just being back, I would think there would be a disturbance in the force.
Yes,
thing.
I was going to say the exact same words.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Here's a good
So
comment from Jake in the chat. As for speaking English, I assume it's due to the wisdom of whomever, allowing him to subconsciously analyze and learn. Ooh, that is a great technicality, Jake.
Yeah,
And
he is a
he might be
magic being,
right.
I suppose.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he has the
Yeah,
wisdom of
we can do some
Solomon.
we can do some well, no, Solomon is Shazam. Sorry, is Captain Marvel.
yeah.
Black Adam. I forget the names of all the people. He gets them from other
Oh, is it
Yeah.
other people?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't realize that.
yeah,
Oh shit! It was very interesting, like just like having Shazam out there in the world with Black Adam, how like jarringly different they are.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like visually, they look great together, but like having Black Adam versus like Shazam is such an awkward.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Like,
you
he's
know
so
what?
bubblegum.
You know,
Yeah,
right?
my thoughts on that would be because I mean we know that we're gonna get 3 movies for Shazam at least, right? That's
Yeah.
But those kids
Without
are
a
growing
doubt.
up so fast.
Yeah.
well what I think what we're gonna have with Shazam. This movie is going to be really what matures him. This next movie, right? This is really what begins to mature him, and then he'll be ready to test that on with Black Adam, probably for the 3rd movie,
Yeah.
right? Because they can switch Black Adam around from good guy to bad guy
Right.
all over the place
Yeah.
because he is that kind of middle gray character. Like Black Adam used to be just a character who was a villain at one point, just straight up villain, and then they've actually over the years had some really good character development with Teth that they can do whatever they want with him, and they just have to be clever enough with the writing. Like, oh well, maybe Billy Batson goes and confronts Black Adam because the wizard sent him to confront him, and he doesn't know Black Adam. He just sees him as bad because Black Adam is really dark, right? He has the same powers, but he is really dark and really brutal,
Right.
and so maybe he sees him automatically as that villain. Maybe they fight for a bit. Maybe they team up. Who knows, right? I mean, or they come to like a pact, like a mutual agreement. There is that extra seat, right?
Yeah.
Remember how they were all
Sure.
sitting there? There is that
Yeah.
extra throne. So maybe eventually the end of the 3rd Shazam movie, this is just me speculating, but by the end of the 3rd Shazam movie, maybe they'll all end up finally together as a family.
I think also, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, I think also with the movie, you have like Black Adam versus the JSA, and then kind of the same problem that DC has with like Wonder Woman and with even Batman versus Superman is like you have them fight or you have a main storyline, and then all of a sudden you feel like it's tacked on at the end of this villain that they got to come together. So, like Sabak just felt like an add-on. It didn't feel necessary for the movie to feel complete. No. And then I feel like with him being the devil, that they should have had a harder time. Not that they didn't, but it just seemed a little too easy.
Well, because he essentially has very much the same powers too. Right?
Yeah.
If you saw how he got him in the movie. So
yeah,
I
he's
think
the opposite of Black Adam because he also it's like, yeah.
So the way I looked at it like is he was there to reaffirm. He was there simply to be fodder for Black Adam. That was it. Because I mean, in the end, when Black Adam really wanted to defeat him and also not go lightning nuclear or whatever he would do, he goes all like, "Oh, control it." When he grabbed him by the horns and literally ripped him in half. Oh boy, did I ever laugh out loud when that happened. But in the end, that was like he probably could have done that in the first place. Like he's that powerful, but so I figure, he was just fodder there to reaffirm how awesome and how powerful Black Adam is. He was a secondary. Like I feel like they're really the real antagonist wasn't as antagonistic as Black Adam played the antagonist to the JSA, and really they did kind of play off the JSA as being a little bit of the antagonist to Black Adam and Kandak.
Yeah, and I definitely liked that aspect of it. I think Hawkman, I liked the actor. I don't know, the costume is fine, but I do really wish that they would have used the more traditional colors. I think that just the red and gold kind of was jarring for me. Like I really wanted that green.
The other thing with I think him and Fate, like the power. This is getting super nerdy, right? Like Hawkman really shouldn't be able to go toe to toe with Black Adam.
No.
Black Adam can go toe to toe.
I thought so too.
Superman.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
and then Dr. Fate. I mean, I love Dr. Fate. I loved him in the movie, but I did miss like the possession that takes place when you put on that
Yes.
helmet.
Yes.
You know, Pierce Brosnan, it just seemed like he was in control the whole time.
Right.
There was no like him being an otherworldly character when he puts on the helmet. When he took
Yeah.
off the helmet, he still had his Dr. Fate suit on.
Yeah.
That was like, no,
No.
dude, it's not just like a helmet. Like, you don't control the helmet. The helmet controls you. It's a curse. So
Right.
that was like, I know they're going to save that for future movies. But that was a little like, you know.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a younger Dr. Fate because they've really emphasized the helmet.
I
So-
didn't mind the helmet as much as you did, Brad, but I it felt alien to me, so I thought that was okay.
I love the helmet. I'm like, I know we're opposite on this, Brad, but
It's
I
okay.
love the, you know, the
the
asymmetry.
suit was phenomenal.
Oh, dude.
I love the suit. We're in agreement there. That was beautiful.
The helmet was just so like not what I was expecting. It's so weird. People either love it or really don't like it.
Yeah.
That seems
Yeah.
to be the opinion about it.
Well, I'm a symmetrical guy. I need things to be symmetrical.
Ah,
And then no eye holes. Like both of those things are really tough for me. I will say the only negative thing I would say about Dr. Fate on my end, like I remember watching him and thinking, okay, so his signature move is to multiply himself.
yeah.
Where's the rest? And he didn't really do a whole lot else as Dr. Fate. And the thing is, Dr.
Yeah.
Fate is one of the most powerful characters
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the DC universe. He's what is he like? Wizard Supreme. He's basically the equivalent of Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he did the multiplying thing. He did
What,
the like
2 or 3
reality
times.
warping thing.
Yeah, which was cool. And the
Yeah, he-
shield was cool.
the shield was cool. He was able to transport people back and forth. But yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. He wasn't like reading from a book of
Oh.
magic and like.
And that book would
you
have
know,
been
doing stuff.
awesome.
Yeah, that would have been great.
So the one thing that I thought was kind of funny was the Diamond Dallas Page.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I was like, are we doing this? Like,
that was a little corny. The kid's like, hey guys, everyone.
Wakanda forever.
See, and I don't watch wrestling, so the Diamond Dallas Page thing, I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
I mean,
all.
either. So
I mean-
Rob brought it up. And that
Yeah.
was hilarious.
I just thought, oh, it's the Kandaki Sego. You got the
No.
triangle.
Yeah.
I did like his when they showed him Black Adam in his 10th Adam outfit without like just the logo as a necklace.
Yeah, that looked
Yeah.
awesome.
And like, dude, I hope McFarlane does a figure of that because that
I was
was
thinking the same.
freaking phenomenal.
I
That'd be
did.
cool.
I wanted his son, who was the true champion,
Yeah.
to actually look like Black Adam, like to have the pointy ears and the hair and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just didn't happen.
That is, yeah, that's right. They left out the pointy ears. Although, I bet you that The Rock was like, no pointy ears.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean the pointy ears are like a definite piece of his look. I didn't even
Yeah.
notice that. Jeez, Rob, you're like,
Someone's perceptive.
yeah, I didn't even
Jeez.
notice. I was too busy just eating my popcorn and candy, just like
I
drooling
think I
all
was
in
on
my
my hot
bucket.
dog at that point. You know.
Yeah.
Tying it back to action figures.
Yeah.
What figures now that we've seen the movie? Are there any figures that we want or we would like for McFarlane to make based on now seeing the movie, or do they kind of cover most of it?
Superman.
Yeah.
I want to see
we
that
yeah.
one.
have
About
one,
it.
but
I want
but-
one with the spit curl because he had the
Yeah.
spit curl.
yes, he did.
Time out. Everyone watching, remember, if you we said there was spoilers in the beginning. At least I think we did, and we also had
We did, and there's a
Right.
lovely banner. There's a lovely banner.
so there are definitely spoilers. So you've been warned going forward, even though we probably already spoiled the crap out of the movie.
Oh yeah, big
Okay.
time.
Yeah, but I want one with because I mean they're clearly trying to emphasize the classic traits of Superman. And note,
Yeah,
we didn't see him below from the waist down. We have no idea what's going on there. I can assume it's.
I
gonna be
can
the
tell
same
you what it
suit.
was. I don't, you might not have seen it yet. Yeah, Henry Cavill did an interview
Oh yeah,
yesterday.
no, you're right. You're right. And it was like a slow zoom on him. You're absolutely right. I just forgot.
Yeah,
Did-
no.
So I didn't see this.
So he
It's on his
wore
Instagram.
the Man of Steel costume,
Okay.
full Man of Steel, and he got to choose the costume he wore.
Yeah.
So that's what he wanted to wear.
He got to
Well-
choose it.
Yeah.
What I noticed in the suit was that the yellow looked more orange.
Yes. Well,
And-
it looked brighter.
And
Sure.
there wasn't the calligraphy or whatever on the S. Like it was just texture.
So that would have been the Man of Steel, because the Batman v Superman has the calligraphy, the Kryptonian calligraphy in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Man of Steel does not. You're right. It just has it's just solid
Yeah.
and textured. But
So
yeah,
they,
no, oh, go ahead, Brad. I'm sorry.
I was going to say they either pumped up the yellowish orange in the middle, like just in post, or we can expect a more brightly colored suit,
I think
which is
we
what
will.
I want, the brightly colored suit.
Yeah,
for
me
sure.
too.
And what we also need is the S on the back of the cape. I'm just.
You think we'll get it? Do you think we'll get it?
I don't know, dude. They haven't done it like in years on the back of the cape. Like in
I feel like they would do it in like a darker red or black, like New 52. I don't feel like they would do it in yellow.
I will
Yeah,
take
well, I would
even
too,
a black one, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't think they'll do yellow. I feel like they've got like a cheesy line. They're like, all right, we're already pushing it. We got dudes and girls in tights, and they're wearing capes, and we have to like suspend disbelief for all the stuff. The yellow S on the back is too much.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not going to give him the trunks, then yeah, I can't see a yellow S on the back either.
Victor was asking, Cyclone Red Tornado Sun? I think so. Because when she scanned her hand to enter the JSA headquarters, you could see something about Red Tornado in her
Oh, you mean
biography. Daughter, yes.
Yes. I have no idea.
It's
You
been a
probably
while
know more
since
than I
I've
do.
read that.
Yeah.
I don't want to say either way because I don't remember.
What do you guys think about the John Williams track playing for the Henry Cavill scene?
Love it.
I liked it, but I don't know. I feel like me personally, I think we need to move on from that. Don't hate me, just because like when you see Batman, you don't necessarily hear the you know, like.
Although that was the one thing that out of the theater release of the Justice League, the Justice League, compared to the Snyder Cut, which is really more of what it was supposed to be.
Right.
The one thing I did like better about the theater release was that scene with Batman, where he's fighting off the Parademon and Gordon's on the roof there afterwards. Oh no, that's a different scene. But there's the Batman theme song that plays just a little bit. Like I don't want the whole original Superman theme song. I just want them. I like it if they mix a little bit in with something. That way, it's kind of a head nod to all of us fans.
I love the Man of Steel theme, and so I would have loved to have heard that. Dun, dun, like you know,
like, that would have been good too.
I just think that would have been more powerful and more cohesive. I don't know.
It's so funny because like I can't for some reason like with James Bond, whenever they play his theme with whoever the new actor is, for some reason it works. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Like it always works. But like Brad, to your point, like in Justice League, when they started playing the Superman theme and the Elfman themes, I didn't like it. I don't know what it is. It didn't. They feel mismatched for some reason.
Yeah.
Like that rooftop scene was great. I mean, that was great. But like when they started to play like the Williams theme for Superman, I'm like, man, this just doesn't.
Honestly, when they did that rooftop scene, I really wanted Green Lantern just to pop out because of the comics of like the New 52, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we got robbed of that. That's a whole other story, right? Yeah. Robbed of Martian Manhunter until the Snyder Cut.
The only thing that's better, in my opinion, with the Justice League, whatever, is
that almost sounds painful for you to call it the Justice
League. Is the color of Superman's suit. Like it's in color and it's bright and vibrant, and that Hot Toys is just phenomenal. That figure in color.
I mean, it is pretty perfect. I make camera mirrored him.
It's just that's the only thing I like. I like the black suit, but I really wanted the in color suit.
Oh, dude, the black suit's great for like a specific movie. He's never meant to wear that permanently,
right?
You know, like I don't understand why people are upset. Like, no, he's not supposed to be in the black suit.
Right, but I think the point is what like at the end when he pulls the shirt open and you still see the black underneath. It's like it should have been the color suit.
My take on the black suit is it was a good gimmick. And it was a popular gimmick because it's been used so many times. Everyone calls the black suit the regeneration suit. And it doesn't matter what, even Todd kind of messed that up when he released his black suit as Superman. That was from
Lothans, Clark, the
Superman
comic,
and Lois,
yeah.
the comic
Superman
book,
was-
right?
yeah.
That wasn't a regeneration suit at all. That was so he
No.
could fly around and be like incognito
Yeah.
in a black suit. That was all that was. But people just call it that. And the only time that he's really worn a regeneration suit that was black was during the Death and Return of Superman storyline. All the other times he's worn a black suit. There's evil Supes from the CW Superman show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Then you've got the one from Superman and Lois. That was a black suit. There was one other time he wore a black suit.
I think Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, he actually wore a black suit.
He wore a black suit there with a
blue
blue
logo.
Yeah. But no, I like the black suit as a gimmick, as a short-term thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense it would be black because dark colors absorb the sun. So I totally get that. But a lot of people are like, they're fans of Batman and they kind of like Superman, but as soon as he has the black suit, they're like, oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Superman should always have a black suit.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I mean, everyone has their own opinion, but I strongly disagree. He's supposed to be the opposite of a black suit wearing dark anti-hero. Superman's not supposed to be badass.
I mean, he's supposed to be like this color palette for this Superman figure
it's perfect.
is like
that's a perfect palette, I think.
right there.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can change up the red just a little bit, but that blue is like perfect on that figure. Yeah, so I mean, I was happy with the blue suit in the Justice League.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
For sure.
Great. You know,
He walked by the black one, had a look at it, and was like, "Yeah, I'll come out with the blue one." Yeah, it
all
worked.
right, guys. Well, I think we are almost. People are asking on mute. Are we done with spoilers yet? I haven't seen Black Adam, so let's. I think we beat up Black Adam enough.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? All right.
Why don't
So
we,
we
why don't we-
are.
You wanted to talk about accessories, didn't you? And then we can go
I did.
into
Yeah, you want to do accessories next, then talk about James Gunn, or do you want to do James
Yeah.
Gunn first?
yeah,
You do
whichever one you want.
Let's
do
let's
accessories.
let's mix it up.
All right, cool. And let me respond to the comments.
Sorry, guys.
Black
What do you call
Adam.
James Bond in a hot tub? Someone said. I don't know. What do you call James Bond in a hot tub? I really want to know. If you could type that soon, I'd be happy.
right now. Let's see. Where's that comment? All right, when he responds, we will post
Yeah.
that. All right, let's talk about action figure accessories. Let me share my screen first.
Bubble 07. Oh, frig.
Northern
that's good.
Nomad, bro.
Yeah, fellow Canadian.
You have a couple of dads on here, so we really responded to that. So let's head on over to Toy Shiz. So, guys, this next segment, we want to talk about action figure accessories. And what prompted this chat, dude, first of all, look how much content Toy Shiz pumps out in a day, dude. This
That's
guy
crazy.
is such a beast.
It's insane. He's a legend.
Look, unbelievable. Okay, let's talk about this. So, we'll tie this all together. So, it was just announced that Super 7 is doing these magnificent Star Trek figures. I'm a Trekkie. Everyone knows. Oh, maybe not everyone. I'm a Trekkie, so I still won't be buying these. It's too much money, and I'm like,
Yeah.
But I guess my topic I wanted to bring up is, so Data here. He comes with a cat. He comes with a violin. He comes with a playing card, a visor, extra heads. Well, like for me, when I get a bunch of accessories, like it's cool for like 10 minutes. Then they're in the bag, stored away, and never see them again. So like,
Yep.
am I alone in this, or what do you guys do with all your extra accessories? Or do you ever bring them out? Do you have them displayed anywhere? Like, what do you guys do with your accessories?
Do you want to go first, Rob? Or do you want me
Sure.
to go?
I'll
Okay, go ahead.
So accessories, it depends on the action figure line. Like my Plunderlings all have their accessories in hand, but they only come with like one, so that's okay. You can put it in the hand.
Really? Just one? Wow.
Well, one weapon, and then they have like extra hands and stuff, which that's a whole nother story. But the McFarlane stuff, like we get a weapon, sometimes a hand.
Yeah.
Um,
Not much usually.
Yeah. I keep it out for taking photos, which I sometimes don't even put it in my photography. Because I try to show like all of it. Now, I think that action figure photographers that do like these dioramas and stuff, that's, good for them. But for me, I just put it in a bag, a plastic baggie, like a lunch Ziploc bag, and I put like I fill it with all other accessories and stands and cards,
Yeah.
and then zip it up, put it in a storage unit, and never see it again.
That answers my question. I was going to say, do you put each character's individual accessories in a baggie?
I do.
How many baggies do you have?
Okay, I do that individual for the DC Direct Batman animated, just so that way, I know who, like, what belongs to who, because there is little pieces, but for like the McFarlane stuff, the only people that have weapons are like, Aquaman with the trident, Black Red Hood with the guns. So.
Yeah, necessity weapons, like weapons that are key to the character, right? Like Lobo would have his chain and hook.
Get one of my baggies so you can see how full it gets sometimes.
I mean, I would say like the only time I separate mine, if it's like a Mezco, a Mafex or Mafex, whatever you want to call it, or like Hot Toys. I feel like those.
I think it's Mafex because the E makes the A say its name.
Okay, I prefer Mafex. So I feel like I only separate those ones out because I feel like I spent so much money on them.
Look at that
tight baggie right there. Look at this guy.
Oh goodness.
Oh man.
Do you know what's in every baggie?
No.
You got a He-Man. Oh my goodness. So if you're looking for a specific accessory,
you're
like, shit, gotta go dig through 57 baggies.
Pretty much. Yeah. But this is what I do with them.
Yeah, me too. It's pretty much the same thing.
I've got a bin. Like I've got an old Canada Post mail tub that from when I was a courier, I just found it in my car one day and I was like, wow, they don't use these anymore, so I might as well keep it. And I've got a bunch of kids' lunch, like I got a kid's lunch box and I got a bunch of bins. And what I do is I keep all my Batman accessories in one bin because I pull them out sometimes for reviews. So everything like batarangs, grapples, anything Batman related goes in there. And then I've got a box of like general accessories for figures. I've got a big bin of hands. I got another big bin of heads, which is so weird to say.
Dude, I know.
And then I've got like a bin specifically for Batman heads, one for Superman heads, one for extra Mezco heads that I haven't put back in the box. And then I've got like one just for Lightning and Green Lantern energy constructs because I have to pull them out occasionally, right? So, and I've got them like literally right by my workbench within reach. But like in general, I don't really use them again. Like anything that comes with like Thundercats or any other figures, they generally just stay in the package. Like
for the Mezcos, the Super 7 type stuff, and the Mafex, I just keep everything sealed in the original content or the box and just store that. But
I sometimes will send my extra heads to It's Vintage. He's a customizer on Instagram. So he gets a lot of my extra hands and heads, so you can like customize it. Because I'm like, there's a few heads that I'll keep that I'm like, oh, this might be cool to switch them out. Even extra heads, like I mean, they're there,
I keep them because I do custom work too. Not as much lately. I don't customize as much anymore. Like I think I've kind of gone through that. It was about like a decade where I was customizing and stuff. And now I'll do like a head swap, or if there's something I really want to do, I'll do some custom stuff. But I used to be always working on something, and that's definitely not as much. But I do keep them around for doing swaps and stuff like that as well. I want the heads to be in good reach. But can we go back and talk about the just the accessories from the Star Trek?
Oh yeah, let me throw that back on.
Because I mean, I've got a very specific comment. Because I mean, I've thought of this too. The whole idea of like, what do most people do with their accessories? Most people, they probably don't do a lot with them. Like he came with what, a violin, a head with a visor, a hand that was holding a hand of poker cards.
Yeah, it's very like episode.
Yeah, like look at this.
Yeah, the kitty cat. Got a kitty cat. Like I feel like most people are gonna have just the figure with his basic look, and then the phaser in his hand.
Right.
I feel like that's most people, right?
Yeah, but how do you even like display these are all really cool accessories? But like
it's I mean any Super 7's kind of that way. Like I have the Disney ones and Pinocchio came with like all the stuff, but I just have Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket, and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
I do think that and the same with the Thundercats, but the Silverhawks, I feel like at least with their accessories, you're getting like laser beams and you're getting the wings.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. You're not getting too much of this other filler stuff.
Yeah. I like
Question:
the fact.
Do you guys think like if they cut down on all these accessories, it would be cheaper? Like this is like $55, I think. This figure.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
Of course it would be, because you gotta. They have to make the tooling for each head, for example, and
Right.
they gotta paint it, and that is boku bucks. So,
plus the package
yeah.
design stuff, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, although their packaging has gotten to the point where it's pretty much streamlined across the whole Ultimates. It's just they slap a different.
It's my favorite
stuff.
packaging, actually.
Yeah,
I like what they do better than probably anybody else. Like, I wish that Multiverse figures came in a package more like this. I know it makes it a bit more challenging to store because like the odd shape, but I really think that it emphasizes what's in the package like that. And it's perfect. Any logo can fit in that little bottom part, like where it says Star Trek. You can put whatever logo in there and make it fit and make it work. Like, so I keep all my TMNT and all my Thundercats packaging. I love that stuff. I can't even bring myself to recycle the mailers.
I'm the same way.
I chuck everything. Jeez.
Just in case that, like, down the road, should I ever want to sell it, I have it.
I'm more like if I want to move. If I want to move, I want to put them all back in the box without them getting damaged. I'm going to get buried with mine in a tomb.
Just throw them in there.
Yeah. in my tomb, it'll be all full. They'll have to. It'll be like Scrooge McDuck. Only instead of him like diving in the money, they'll lay me on top of this gigantic mound of action figures. That'll be me.
Yeah. No, I agree with you guys. Like like this, I would buy for like $30. And
I think it's worth more than that, though. For real, I do.
I think, like I said, the accessories, like, it makes it too overpriced. Where like I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna display data, with like his phaser, and everything else in here is gonna go in plastic.
It would be neat if there was possibly two options, and this would be the deluxe version, and the deluxe version was made to order, and the basic version they just did like an average count, a forecasted count that went to Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, all those kinds of places,
That's
CMD store.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that. But there definitely is a place for all the crazy accessories. As much as like I'm like, what am I gonna give Data his violin?
Mm-hmm.
There are some people who'd be like, that is perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna display him with the violin.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah,
it's
like
it's
like with Lino with the retracted Sword of Omens. I love that, but I never use it with anything. So.
No, of course not. Because I mean, it's the sword when it's not retracted in its full magical state. That's really how I think a lot of us picture Lion-O, right? He's got the sword. He's the hero with the sword,
right?
Not with the dagger that sits in the side.
Now, bringing this back to
on sight.
I'm sorry. Bringing this back to the DC.
Yes.
McFarlane did something like this. What do you guys think if they did something like this quality, this many accessories?
I think fans would love it because that's all they're like complaining about is give us more heads, more hands.
Yep.
But then they'd probably complain about the price.
I feel like for one, we know that McFarlane is going to have to go up in price.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, he said, I think I was talking to you, Rob, maybe after Jay left the stream last time, about how Todd was saying he's going to have to raise the prices. He knows that. He just doesn't want to be the first one to do it. Like, why do I got to be the first one to do it?
Yeah.
And so, like, there's still $19.99 American?
Yeah.
And $24 for like a bigger, like deluxe type figure?
Right.
Okay. So in Canada, at Walmart, I believe they're $26 for a basic figure. And if you go to GameStop, then obviously you're going to pay more. Mm-hmm. And then they're 30 some odd bucks, 32 maybe for a deluxe figure or something like that in Canada. So yes, that would make the price much higher here, but it's going to have to happen, right? Because right now he's not taking a loss, but he is not making as much money as he could be with these. And he does so much of his own tooling. So the price is going to have to go up. But then, with these, the price would go up even more. And people would complain about it because I think a lot of people, they just don't understand how much it actually costs. And he has to make profit.
Yeah.
right?
Probably, especially with like the shrinking toy market. Like, I know it feels like there's a lot of us, but I think Spectre Creative always says it right. It's a small market.
I
Really.
disagree with him
You
on the
know?
idea that it's mostly kids that are buying these figures.
Oh
I
yeah, I don't
strongly
think so at all,
disagree with that. I remember hearing that, and his idea was that they base it on however many, like, if they're trying to sell He-Man figures, they go, well, how many He-Man lunchboxes, T-shirts, birthday party supplies, and stuff like that sell, and that's a good indication that kids are buying them. Bed sheets. It's like I don't think that's accurate, because maybe back in the day that was an accurate thing to go off of, but I feel like that's an old, outdated metric, because I never ever see kids in the toy aisle ever looking at the stuff that I'm after, and I'm there a lot. Even in Toys R Us, never, ever, ever the kids. I never see kids collecting them, and the only time that I see people in there is people buying them for themselves or buying them for kids so like they were fans of Batman, so they buy the Batman figure to give to their kid for their birthday, right? So the grown-ups buy what they know, which is why it's, what do we have in the aisle right now? We have the stuff that we had: Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, Marvel, DC. It's all the stuff that we knew.
Dude,
Ninja Turtles was there for a long time.
The
Power Rangers,
the superpowers. I mean,
right. And I don't think kids are going to walk by and look at that and go, "Wow, Dad, I got to have this 5 points of articulation, 7 points, action figure." Like, kids really aren't even playing with action figures as much anymore. Yeah. It's very rare.
And I'm worried about superpowers because, like, in my Walmart, they ordered a ton of them.
Yes.
And they're just sitting there. Like, I don't see any movement on them. And there's like,
I'm kind of hoping that the price goes on clearance for the Batwing, so I can finally get one at a decent price.
What is it going for?
Now it's going for like $29.97 or something like that.
It's $39 where I am.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But not in Walmart.
19. Yeah.
It used to be 19, yeah. And then I think that's why I have such a hard time just buying it, because the sheer principle of it.
You're paying the bat tax. It's like the pink tax if you're a woman. It's bat tax if you're a Batman fan.
You look at like the Supermobile, which is like huge
and beautiful. Yeah.
And yes, it's like the standout. But it's like that I can see $30. This little Batwing, no. 19's right, but
honestly, I would have rather saw the Batjet right away. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the Batman. Out of everything in that line, like so far that we've received, the Batman Who Laughs, I would have rather gotten a Joker or a Riddler, like a character that wasn't made for the superpowers. Batman Who Laughs, as much as I like that character, I feel like he's misplaced in that line. I feel like he doesn't. He doesn't match. And then the Batwing. As much as Todd's done a Batwing that basically matches the superpowers aesthetic, for one, most of us can't get our hands on a Batcopter. That's like one of the hardest pieces to get your hands on. So that would have been cool, like a new Batcopter or a Batjet, because I believe there was a Batjet plan for the old one. Now I think that there's a Batjet. No, it's the Invisible Jet and the Batmobile going forward, right? So no Batjet, right? Am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah, no.
So a Batjet would have made more sense, I think.
Yeah. I saw, before we get any further, I saw Alec. He said about the constructs. He'd like to see like a Green Lantern construct thing. I think that would make a great multi-pack, doing like a whole construct multi-pack.
Oh, for the multiverse.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, instead of doing like a deluxe version with the figure, just give us like a multi-pack for that. I think that would be great.
There'd be no guns in it.
Yeah.
Obviously, right? So you wouldn't get your construct sniper rifle, for example, for say John Stewart.
Yeah.
But you could do some cool stuff with buzzsaws. No more swords, please. Unless it's a broadsword, no more swords.
No more swords.
Anything but swords, right? Give us a bear trap, right?
Or the big fist.
A big big fist for sure.
Yeah. Or
anything.
Boxing fist.
Shield. Big shield.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
We got to get a Mojo somehow. Like, I don't know how. Like, it's. I mean, that would have to be like a DC HasLab, like a Mojo Green Lantern. Like the size of Unicron. Like,
I don't know how you do that one. That's
a
big one. The power battery is on Mojo. Yeah, I know. It'd be huge. Okay, not to scale.
What would be
Yeah.
the scale?
No.
Someone asked us, speaking of prices, maybe I missed it, but can we discuss the epic failure that is the HasLab Engines
Oh
event?
God.
I feel bad about that, honestly.
So what happened? Because I wasn't following. Like I saw like the
Well,
premiere.
it's like at fourth, I don't know. I think it's right at 5,000 backers, and they need 9,000.
Yeah.
And it ends like in a few weeks, and the numbers have gone down, not up.
Yeah.
So it's not looking too good.
Well,
I mean,
I saw
Oh,
it in
go ahead.
person, and I have to say, I wanted it right there and then, but I was not willing to pay the price. I don't collect a lot of Marvel, but
Yeah.
that thing, just the light up
good.
features and stuff, and
Yeah.
I was like, that thing's so badass. Like I don't think it's worth that price, but it's definitely worth it for those who want it. And I don't even like Ghost Rider that much to want it, but I
but you
wanted
like
it.
the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see.
Okay.
I've got the Mattel Creations Batmobile, right? Remember how they did 2
Yeah.
for the Batman? One had Batman in it, and when you turned the steering wheel and stuff, he turned his head, right? And then there was one
that.
yeah, and there's one that didn't have Batman in it. I have the one specifically that doesn't have Batman in it
Okay.
because I wanted to be able to put Batman in the car myself. And that was like way cheaper. And it doesn't come with as much, but it's remote control,
Yeah.
right? It's got light up features and sounds. So I feel like I understand that I don't understand everything going on behind the scenes with this. I've watched a lot of videos, right? Like I've watched who's that fella that had a bit of a jive going on with Spectre Creative.
Oh, God,
He's
what's his
very
name?
he's
Retro
very-
blasting.
Retroblasting. He's very
Yeah.
straightforward. Very
I love him. He's so great.
I appreciate his videos.
Yeah.
He seems like someone that if we were kids, we would have been friends and enemies at the same time. I do like his videos. Like I don't watch them
Yeah.
all, but I love watching him
Oh,
rant in that like straight, ranty, complainy, whiny
But
voice.
so intelligent at
But
the
he-
same time.
But he's
right?
very
Like,
intelligent. Yeah, like he's not stupid. He's not like completely wrong. He's clever
Yeah.
with what he's saying. And so I see a lot of like both sides of the spectrum. And some people are like,
Yeah.
this is why it cost that much. And it was, it's inevitable. It's going to cost that much. And others are like, no, they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation, or
I
they don't
mean,
have to charge
but
that
then you
much.
get like
I don't know.
Toddy Boy doing this, right? For like,
Yeah.
how much was this? It was like what, $30?
That was
Something like
that was $40 Canadian for me, $39.99.
Yeah. So if you doubled the price on it, you could have made. It would have all been plastic. But who?
Yeah.
I mean, the light up stuff is awesome. But again,
I-
just like accessories, you're gonna light it up once, and the end. Probably
On
I
the
don't know.
shelf,
Yeah.
it goes to collect dust
Exactly.
and look
You
cool.
know?
So you can go, oh, yes, there it is. I like that. It's on the
Right.
shelf over there. Yeah.
Make sure
No,
you
I-
don't keep your batteries in it.
No, I learned that the hard way.
Yes.
They
I
leak.
have to.
In the end, they corrode everything. Now, okay, there is a side note to that whole car thing,
Yeah.
right? As much as I think that was like, I feel like it's too much money in it, but it exploded. I was like, stay away. What I thought was funnier was the fact that all of a sudden everybody was talking about this Bratz car, and people started reviewing. Like one guy talked about it, and then all these people started doing reviews of the Bratz Roadster or whatever the heck it is.
Oh,
And
I
I'm
gotta
like,
look this
what
up.
the
The
heck?
Bratz
It's a red
Roadster?
car, and the people are like, look, this thing has an insane amount of features, and it can
Oh,
fit the
shit.
two figures perfectly. And I got this for what did they say, like $40 off of Amazon or eBay or whatever.
Let me share my screen.
And I'm
and
like,
show you.
that is just so weird that it really shows that the action figure collecting community at large sometimes can move in ebb and flow together. Like one person talks about it, and then everyone is like running to review it. Like people with smaller channels, some of them are like, I got to review this thing. I got to
Right.
get
This
it up
thing?
there because right now this will get me the views. Not that one. I bought that one and
Oh.
painted it black.
This is
not
pretty
that one.
sick.
Yeah,
It
that kind of
does
looks
work.
Speed Racer.
I've
Oh,
got it
yeah.
over there. It's all beat up now, but no, I bought that years ago and did it up. It's a red one. Bratz. It could be the Roadster.
Oh,
Let's
that's-
see. Not that one. Nope. That one there. Bratz remote control Roadster convertible. Try that one. Try that. That looks no, that's not it.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe
Wow.
someone in the comments remembers exactly.
Yeah, some in the
what it's
comments, let me
called.
know which one.
Roland Katsuragi. Yeah, Richard Blasting has very skewed emotionally charged takes against Scott's facts. Yeah, I think that's not entirely inaccurate. I feel like he definitely has emotionally charged takes, but they're fun to watch.
Oh
It's
yeah, so
interesting.
that debate they had was great.
I watched that.
Dude, I watched that
up.
more than I watched like the last 5 presidential debates. And I didn't even know what they were talking. I didn't even know either of them, and I don't even buy Marvel or whatever it was they were arguing or talking about. Like
The toy industry.
the
and,
toy industry.
and-
That's right. You know, what I
yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah.
funny when like even though we are like DC guys, like yeah, I follow all the drama with the Hasbro stuff, the HasLabs, the He-Man stuff. Like you're a fan of all of it. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, motorized Escalades. All right.
That's not the one. No.
That's not-
Anyway,
that's
if you
okay.
look it up, a lot of the bigger reviewers have done
Okay.
that car, as well as some of the small ones.
That is, yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful car. I mean, I love Ghost Rider, but it was very interesting. I mean, for 350, right? Like
Yeah.
that's
American.
ooh.
Imagine being Canadian and having to pay that. But the
I
thing
mean,
is,
you-
though,
I mean, okay, real quick. I gotta sneeze though, but
let
Let it out, Rob. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. There you go. Right there. You get it.
bless you.
There it is.
sorry, I tried not to.
It's okay. You're all right.
The price of MP44 that transforms,
Yeah.
and then you have this
What's MP44?
Optimus Prime.
Oh, the one that goes from like a truck and it
Yeah.
stands up all by itself.
You know,
No,
Rob's
not-
like
not that, but-
Optimus Prime.
The masterpiece version of Optimus
Yeah.
Prime that transforms, and then you look at that versus the Ghost Rider one that doesn't. I mean, it's just a car.
Yeah.
How much
Yeah.
is the Optimus Prime again? How much does that go for? New, not like secondary market now, but like when it was.
I don't even
first-
remember the price right now. I
Was
think
it like
But you get like freaking Eternia for $500, right? I was tempted by
wouldn't-
that.
I
creation.
wouldn't have bought Eternia for that much. However,
No?
if they were like, "Here's a Fortress of Solitude or a Batcave for 500," I'd be like,
Right.
"Shut up and take my money." So
Yeah.
it's
dude,
all for me. I mean, I know it's too much.
you-
I know it's
Heck.
too much. I'd be like, "Hold on a second, I just gotta bend over and take it up the tailpipe." And I choose to do this. Here's the Vaseline.
Right.
You know.
Oh yeah. There's some things we would definitely like, you know. But
It
anyway.
depends on what it is, right? What was the other? Oh, I was gonna say the Thunder Tank.
Oh yeah, that thing.
I really wanted to cough up every penny for
Yeah.
that, and I just couldn't. I just
Was that
couldn't do it.
200 or 250 or what was
It
it?
was way more than that. I think it came to like it was like $4.99 or something like
Ah.
that.
Yeah, but that now
Something
see
like
that is like massive,
I know, and it's the Thunder Tank.
and it comes with the glass shield that, like,
know.
and then the armored shield. I mean,
Was that a Kickstarter or was that you can just buy it? Like
no, that was just you could
It
buy
was a
it.
pre-order
you
from
can
Super
still get
7.
it. You can still get it, bro.
But it's so much money. Like
It
I have
is.
to cut back.
Plus,
it's
where
been
where do you put
bad.
that? Like, I don't know where I
Like,
put. That's
for
why I
me-
didn't buy the
yeah.
I
bad
make
one.
room. I move one of the kids outside into the backyard, and I put it in their room. That's what I
I have
do.
nowhere that I would put. Like, if we get the Keaton, like we said last time, like I don't know where I'm going to put that.
You need
No,
it
I
on
had the
shelf?
Lego Batmobile, which is like is about the same size of a 7-inch scale Batmobile. So I'm
Yeah.
in trouble. I only
Actually,
spent- yeah,
You
Go ahead,
could
Russ.
rotate the stuff on the top of your shelf there behind you,
I could.
right? You got that fantastic Enterprise, and you got the
Yeah.
Bat Pod up there. You could just be like, time for the old switcheroo. I mean, I change up what's behind me every so often. Partly
I
because I
have
get sick
I
of
have nowhere
looking
to
at it.
store the stuff that I have up here. Like my wife will stab me if I put any more things in the garage.
Don't you have like a crawl space or like a storage anything?
Oh,
Closet
buddy.
Do you have
or-
do you have a basement, Brad?
I know.
Or
I'm
a
in
crawl
it.
space?
Yeah, I have a crawl space over there, so I can actually put stuff in there. I don't.
Oh no, but I'm
Very
living in
often.
I'm in my crawl space right now, basically the shed. This is
Yeah, that's right. You had to build your own space. I'm not
Right.
far off. I'm not far off. I'm about to, like, I'm trying to figure out how to finance a shed that's a tad bigger than
Brad's
yours.
priority.
I know kids can sleep outside in the tool shed.
I've been trying to get, and I know that he can't, Brad, because of like the
California, yeah, we can't do basements here.
no,
Southern
not
California.
that,
Can't
but
do
like
basements?
putting a second floor to his
Oh, yeah. My shed.
Shed?
Yeah.
to his
Oh,
shed.
yeah.
Yes, That's exactly what I was trying to. I want to put a shed in the backyard, like a business shed, like an office shed, because I have 4
A
kids.
he shed.
A what shed?
A he shed instead
They
of
call
a
it
she
she
shed.
shed. A she shed is like a very fancy,
Bougie.
lovely looking shed.
Oh yeah, no.
So a he shed's for.
Mine will be a mess filled with toys. Mine will look like yours, but not as nice. You painted your walls white. I don't know what I'll do with mine. But yeah, I want to put one in the backyard, but I wanted to put in like a loft shed. Like
Oh,
there's
those are
some
nice.
sheds that are like the size of a tiny home.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can
Oh,
get.
they're huge.
So I want to do one of those and move myself out there completely. And then my son, Jason, oldest, can take this room because I have 4 kids and we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 bedrooms being used by kids, 1 by my wife and I. And so we inevitably have 2 kids sharing. I mean, which is normal back in the day. People were like, I have 8 kids and they all share one bedroom. But I kind of want to give them their own space.
Right.
That kind of
If
thing.
you can, of course, right? Like
Yeah.
if you can build a nice shed in the backyard and move all your stuff out there.
Exactly.
Would be
So
curious,
Jason
though,
would come down here.
What about like the climate in Canada, the cold and stuff? Would you need to get it insulated and temperature controlled?
Well, I would do that anyway. Yeah. Build them 16 inches on center, chuck in my battens, then drywall it up, right? Or probably have an electrician come in first and then drywall it up. Yeah, we would definitely have to insulate it for sure.
All right, guys, we're already at the hour mark. So let's go on to our last topic.
Yeah.
Let's go on to James Gunn and the new. I mean, first of all, for us 3 who are old, we've been through like 20 new eras of DC. Like, I mean, Tim Burton, Superman Lives. Anybody? Like how many versions of that? And like, so I guess, Rob, let's get over to you first.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on James Gunn? I forgot the other gentleman's name who's taking over as well.
I'll look it up right now. I have it on the screen.
Please, there you go.
I know his name, but it's
Peter Safran.
Yes,
Peter Safran.
Yeah, because he produced a lot of DC movies and horror movies for Warner Brothers. Yeah, from what I heard, that Safran was definitely like going to take it, but he didn't want to take it alone. So he was like, James Gunn. So.
Okay.
Not a bad choice.
Yeah, I think from what I understand too is that James has until May or March, is it, to do everything that he needs to do before, like, I mean, he's starting November 1st, like they both are, but I think they're giving him a little bit of leeway to like finish up any projects
like Guardians
and all that. Yeah.
Oh, and then he's specifically DC.
Yes, he is. From that point on, he's not allowed to touch anything other than Warner Brothers, technically.
Yeah, 4 years, right? He's got a 4 years exclusive, I think.
Yeah.
That's it. They only gave him 4 years. He's got 4 years to pump out how many movies?
Basically, they're like the Kevin Feige of DC.
That makes sense. I mean, James Gunn, to be fair, that second Suicide Squad
was awesome.
It was awesome. And it made the first one look like a turd in the bowl.
And I love
by comparison.
Peacemaker.
Yeah, Peacemaker's great.
And my wife loves Peacemaker. And she was like, when she first started, she's like, I don't know. I don't really like, whatever. And then she ended up loving it. So
yeah. And I feel like at least James Gunn, I can't say for the other fella, I don't know him from a hole in the wall, but I feel like James Gunn will be reverent of each individual character.
Yeah.
Right. Like he won't put Superman in a situation that compromises the character of what we know he's like.
Yeah. I don't
Same thing with Batman. Batman will be dark and brooding, but also good at heart. And I feel like he'll be able to manage that really well.
I don't think that, in my opinion, that they're going to bring back Zack Snyder, just because I think that it's kind of too many big heads. I mean, we already have The Rock in there too.
And he's got a lot of control.
But I think what's going to happen is that James Gunn is going to still use the Snyderverse and build upon that and then make it his own, which is like maybe a variant, but it still has the same actors and undertone. So I think we're winning there. I know there was like problems with James Gunn in the past, and hopefully that got all sorted out.
Oh, you mean the tweets they dug up from a long time ago? The
Yeah.
dark humor.
Yeah, the dark humor stuff. But
And they were
cancel
weird.
culture.
They're weird jokes.
yeah,
Fuck
Definitely-
cancel culture. We'll dig up something you
Yeah.
said a decade ago that was clearly humor.
and people
and
can
we'll use it
change
to
too,
trash you.
obviously. So
He handled that
Right.
super well, I thought. Like,
Yeah.
He did.
he just
Yep.
was quiet, apologized.
I just hope
put
that
his
he
head
can
down,
get like Ray
yeah.
Fisher back, because Ray Fisher was phenomenal. And then hopefully we can get a good story with Gal, just because the
Yeah.
second one was not it.
I
mean,
love her in that role. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was
Go
just saying,
ahead,
do you guys
I
think
mean,
though, like, I mean, can you even come close to replicating Marvel at this point? Like,
No.
I don't think they should try.
No.
They
Yeah.
shouldn't.
how do you think they should go? Like, how do you even like begin to like, you
Well,
know,
what
Just
they're doing with
One foot at a time. Really.
yeah,
Right.
let the universe evolve, right?
Yeah.
On its own naturally. It'll take on its own general feeling with each movie. Like, and I think with like as you were saying, Rob, like Peacemaker's great, right? And we were talking about the Suicide Squad. That's good. So I mean, if those are two projects that I really seriously enjoy.
And I hope
And-
Green Lantern comes around. I mean, they
They're
mentioned
redoing it again.
Yeah. So,
John's going to focus on just Jon Stewart, apparently.
which I think is
That's
wrong.
fine.
I mean, I'm fine with Jon Stewart, but I think that they need to.
I was excited for Alan Scott and Guy Gardner.
They also need to
Yeah.
have other.
I love John, but yeah,
Like you have to have Kilowog, and you have to have like
Yeah.
all those other ones in there
Yeah.
as like cameos or something.
Well, I'm not really happy that I was never really stoked about what they were doing. Like, I was stoked that there was a Green Lantern
Yeah.
show, but aside from the fact that we had the de-gentrification of all friggin' DC characters in movies,
did you say
That's a side-
Ginger?
yes, the de-gentrification.
Yeah. Now that you mention it,
Name all the characters that have red hair in the comics that they cast for movies, and they never have red hair. The de-gentrification.
I'm trying
Well,
to think who
Mira-
do they have?
Guy Gardner's supposed
but
to be.
they're
a
taking her
redhead.
out. So
Pardon?
Mira, but they're taking her out.
Yeah, and she's technically not really a total ginger, right? She's
Yeah,
sometimes
she's-
depicted as being more reddish,
Yeah.
like a
I
deep
think
reddish
what-
orange.
what- for me,
I mean, I think
Indian.
that
Batgirl. She was a ginger, and then she
Mira,
got agentified.
I think looked better in the Zack Schneider with her hair as like dyed red, and then she had that super bright red
Yeah,
in the Aquaman
Yeah.
movie, and I was like, no, go back to the other one.
See, and I liked it better in Aquaman.
Yeah,
I did too.
I like the brighter red.
Do you think we can
Yeah.
forgive Mira at this point? As Amber Heard like hasn't been enough time? Because I still am a fan of Amber Heard
I'm
as Mira.
like
So
I
are
like
we
her
cool
Mira,
with her
but
now?
I
her
like her
Mira
Mira,
is
but
phenomenal,
she's trash.
and yeah, I agree. Like recast, like I would rather them recast than like they have to have Mira. I mean, Aquaman and Mira. I mean, it's kind of like Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if they are doing what I think they're doing, right, with the Flash being a pseudo restart point, right?
Yeah,
Because let's face it, they're not going to have Ezra Miller back. That guy is damaged
Which is a-
goods.
I really enjoyed him. I did.
Yeah, me too.
Right. I'm not saying his take on Flash was whatever it was, but they cannot have him back.
Who would you want as?
That would be a great comeback story, though, Rob. I mean, he's had some weird stuff, not the typical Hollywood drunk stuff.
Who would
They
you
should have
have?
Wally West. They
as-
should have had Wally
Yeah.
West in that movie take the torch.
No, but like, who would you have play Barry? And please don't say Grant because I'm so over that guy.
No,
I'm
I'm not
so over that guy.
I like Grant a lot, but it's been done now.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly,
Like,
I don't know.
That.
It could be an unknown, but like,
Sure.
I mean, he doesn't have to have blonde hair, but like, I'm trying to think like what
I was
actor.
Brad. I wish they had like. First of all,
I want him.
really-
I want him to have blonde hair. I want him to keep.
yeah.
I want him to keep the haircut that he's supposed. The hair that he's supposed
Well,
to have.
yeah, I mean, Aquaman.
Like, if it
was
ain't
supposed
broke,
to have
don't
blonde
fix it.
too, But
Dude, they should have kept Wally. Like they should never have brought back Barry in the comics. Like who was yearning for Barry? Like everyone loved Wally. I don't know.
yeah,
I feel like it's good they brought him back, but I feel like it was a crime too, because in the same way we talked about Robin before, right? Like Tim
Yeah.
being our Robin, Wally was my Flash for my whole life.
Right.
Like I
Yeah,
read old
exactly.
school Flash comics with Barry, but my whole time that I was reading, it was pretty much Wally, right?
yes, I agree.
So yeah, I would love to see.
Wa-
But I want
Wally
a
and
real
Kyle.
ginger to play Wally. Give us a real ginger
I
to
mean,
play Wally.
gingers are losing out. Someone,
Oh, yeah.
Roland had a great point. It's been an agenda in Hollywood
It
for
may
years to
be.
remove the gingers. But yeah,
It
the
may
Little
be.
Mermaid also You lost another ginger there, buddy.
And Little Mermaid's my favorite.
I've seen that she can sing.
She's a great singer.
Yeah, she can
I'm
sing.
all for it. I will see that in the theater. Like, I don't care.
I don't watch any of those in the theater. I watch Lion King at the drive-in to take my kids, but I don't watch Disney movies in the theater anyway. So they wouldn't have my money either way. People are like, she's black, and I'm like, I'd rather not.
That's not a problem.
I would rather not talk about it at that point, because like I love black actors. I love characters that are black.
Sure.
It's like it's just one of those things where if it went the other way, right? You take a black character and make them white, there'd be hell to pay.
Brad, we probably shouldn't go down this road.
I'm just saying, right? what I'm trying to say is my opinions and thoughts either way they're not going to affect the box office, because I wouldn't be going anyway, because I don't go and see Disney movies I wait for them to come onto streaming. Like,
so you don't see any Disney movie in the theater? Is that like
I love Beauty and the Beast, but I waited for it to come to streaming.
Yeah, but you won't go to the theater for Disney movies though.
Never. My theater is so small. I'll go for DC movies and for the occasional other thing. Like,
I still haven't seen Top Gun too. So
I'm gonna wait for it to be free on streaming.
That was
exactly.
Idris Elba. I would have liked to have seen like Idris Elba play Jon Stewart. And then Hal Jordan is the young rookie, like flipped it a little bit. Yeah, a little buddy cop action there. Yeah. But okay, so back to James Gunn, the new DC era. So they have 4 years. It takes X amount of time to develop a project.
I think it'll be extended.
But I guess what would you guys like to see first from this new DC era?
Man of Steel 2.
Yes.
All right.
Started off right.
Okay, Keaton or Affleck as the primary DC Universe Batman?
Preferably Affleck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. Both.
Yeah, I like Keaton, but not as the primary Batman. He's too old to be the primary Batman.
Yeah.
I was really curious. I wish we could know, like, they need to write a book on this. Like, was the intention to make Keaton the primary Batman as an older mentor figure? Like, I'm so curious. Like, I guess we'll have to wait for the Flash to see what the plan is.
Yeah.
But,
I think it's possible, because they were changing everything, right? They had the Justice League was going to be essentially Wonder Woman, Batgirl. It was going to be Supergirl, and what else? Ezra Miller back as the Flash. Yeah. We were going to have Aquaman. So yeah, they were changing a lot of stuff.
But now it seems like they're going back, because they're like, hey, well, I think,
why would they get rid of 2 people in the Trinity?
Like, The Rock is like, people listen to him, Yeah. So I think he's like,
and he was right.
I think my wife even said that to me this morning. Is like, The Rock says he knows what the fans want. He learned early on. Yeah. So like, give the fans what they want. Like, why is it so hard for Warner Brothers to just like give us what?
Yeah.
It would be easy money.
Everyone loves Henry.
My dog just farted.
Don't worry, we can't smell anything.
Oh my God. Sorry.
That's all right, guys. Well, listen, we got to wrap it up soon.
We should probably get to some questions.
Let's get to the exactly. Let me get rid of this banner. Glad the banner thing worked out. It was beautiful.
It's good. There's not a ton of comments, so we could probably go almost right up to the top. And just pick out some of the questions.
You keep scrolling if you go to the top, Brad. It's not
I just realized that.
We will need to discuss once we're like in a little bit about the Titans that's coming out.
Oh, let's say that for the next episode.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like we should make a whole episode about the Titans.
I'm down for that.
Sure. I have to catch up. I'm about 8 episodes away from finishing the current season.
Well, here's a good question.
I gotta catch up.
What about the Joker? Should Jared Leto reprise the role, or should Joaquin Phoenix take the mantle?
I think is it supposed to be the same universe? That's the first question.
Yeah.
And or will it change with the Flashpoint, and they can bring in who they want?
Yeah.
Right? Like, will they be able to do that?
Like, here's my take is, and this goes for Marvel too. I don't mind them recasting because different artists draw them differently. So I don't have a problem with them recasting, because eventually, just like with Marvel, they're going to want to redo, I was going to say Aquaman, like Captain America and all that. And those actors are going to be too old They're gonna have
Yeah.
to recast at some point.
Yeah.
Either that or reboot the whole universe.
Robert
Or
Downey
you
Jr.
could be like-
is a good example.
Or you can be Hugh Jackman and apparently play Wolverine until you're like 70.
He's
True.
53 and he's like
Dude, he's
Dude is
amazing shape. Like, holy
amazing
shit.
shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I have to hobble around, and that guy can like
I know,
do,
right?
like, backflips if he really wants to.
Thank
You know what?
boy.
Okay, so hold on. What was the first
Sorry.
question? I want
Oh,
to.
I'm sorry. We were talking about. I forgot what the question was. I moved past it so quickly. Okay, what was the question? Shoot, I'm sorry, Brad.
Okay, I had a brain fart. The dog farted, and it stinks.
Yeah.
So my
Someone
brain
did
is.
say blaming the dog, Brad?
Yes,
that
I
was,
totally am blaming
Oh,
the dog.
Jared Leto.
Okay, Jared Leto.
Yes.
You know what? I don't want to see. I personally I like the Joker solo movie as what it was, but I wouldn't want Joaquin Phoenix to be the main Joker.
Yes.
I personally think that Jared Leto could have done a really good job if he was given the time to properly shine. I was never a fan of the gold teeth and the shaved off eyebrows and the facial tattoos. That barf. It was just I never liked that. Like gangster Joker. However,
and I don't really like the Joker design that we saw for the Batman.
Oh,
No,
I
didn't like that either.
hated
With the boils and stuff.
It looks like he had leprosy.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was so awkward. Like,
Yeah, I
it was
didn't
so
like it.
unnecessary.
Yeah,
Like,
but I want a Joker that like has the suit, but the suit is all beat up and dirty. Because let's remember,
Yeah.
does the Joker really give a shit about having a shower or smelling nice or his clothes being clean? I mean, I would say probably not so much. So maybe there's like some dried blood on his shirt. Maybe he spent the night sleeping in his hideout and like he's got like a bit of mildew on his clothes as well. Like he just like doesn't care. Greasy hair that's kind of blown back, but kind of there's a way to take that comic book look and then make it a bit more real, right? There's a way to do that. And I feel like Jared Leto is much, not that I want him to come back, but if those are my picks, I would say Jared Leto. He could probably pull it off. Probably.
Yeah, I think he was definitely underutilized. Or I mean,
Yeah.
most of his scenes were cut out of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, he was
So
ticked
it's
about
like-
that.
Oh, this is a good comment. Jake Gyllenhaal's the Joker, please. After watching Nightcrawler, I literally have been praying for him for the role.
He'd
Check
be
that
good.
out.
I want the guy. Who's the guy that played the guy who played the Green Goblin?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
someone mentioned that. William Dafoe.
I want William Dafoe or Jim
No.
Carrey as the Joker. Those would be my
Or
picks.
or even like that. Oh shoot, the Green Goblin in the.
Yeah, that guy.
That
Yeah, I know
guy.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Oh,
looks like
yeah. That's right.
We're all like,
in the Amazing
"Boo."
Spider-Man, right?
yes, in the Amazing Spider-Man. I think he would make like a good Joker.
Here's a
I feel
good-
like
good
he'd be
comment.
good for like a grumpy Jason Todd, a young Jason Todd, when he
Thank
was
Boy
younger.
with, they need to continue focusing on each project as its own thing instead of fitting into an overall story. Peacemaker, Joker, Batman wouldn't be as good if they were forced into a phase.
True.
I can see that. I think it's hard for like Marvel, man. It was lightning in a bottle. Like they started off with Iron Man, success. All the movies were successful, so they were really able to progress this like, shared universe. But DC's freaking all over the place. You have like movies from like 3 regimes ago. Like, you have the Batman over here. You have like Joker. Like the Batman and Joker should be in the same universe, in my opinion. Like I feel like Joaquin Phoenix would be so great facing off against Robert Pattinson. Like,
Well,
in
this day and age, you don't have a Batman without a Joker, and you don't have a Joker without the Batman. Like you need them in the comic books to be yin and yang.
And someone said, I think I read somewhere, why didn't we just make Pattinson like the younger version of Affleck? Then it could just work.
that would have been too easy, Rob.
Yeah.
And they don't look anything alike.
They do.
We have
Well-
emo Bruce, and
Yeah.
then we have like, I don't know if that would have worked.
I do hope he gets less emo by the next movie. I was talking to someone about this earlier. Like the one thing that bothered me the most about the Batman was at the end when he's like on the news saving people.
Yes.
I'm like, dude, he's Batman. He's like, you're not even supposed to know that he exists. He's supposed to be like
a
a
legend.
creature of the night and
Well,
vengeance.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
then when he does kind of pop up in front of people, it's when he's in the league, if you remember. He was always
Right.
like, I'm doing my thing, and then all of a sudden he's part of the Justice League, and he's
right, like an offshoot, you know.
he's like
But
moping in the background, right? He
yeah,
doesn't want to talk to people. He's like, I guess I'll be okay.
that was such a weird
Yeah.
choice. I thought, like, that's Superman. He should be like in
Yeah,
the,
he's
in
like
the
hope.
light.
I need to be
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah, Batman's
feel
supposed
like-
to be hopeful.
I feel like if they're going to redo the DC universe to this commenter's question or comment about the idea that they don't have to all be together and they work better when they're not part of. Well, Peacemaker actually is part of an existing universe. So,
Yeah.
and that existing universe is tied to the existing DC universe because Aquaman and Ezra Miller's Flash were in
Mhm.
Peacemaker, and
Yes.
and then the Peacemaker is obviously part of the Suicide Squad. And then we have the continued appearances of Amanda Waller. So we know that there's connection, like it does work. It's just how you go about doing it. Personally, with this phase, if they're going to put them together, kind of going backwards to our comments, I would start with a Superman movie that makes you feel good. I've said it a million times, makes you remember why you love Superman, why he's still a good and relevant character. And you release that movie at Christmas, when all the families are together and they're like, what do we want to go to the theater and watch? And Christmas is the best time to release a feel-good movie like that. Make it a Christmas movie. Not necessarily a Christmas movie, but released in that time. And then the next movie that year is the Batman movie. And the segue into that is the end credit scene where maybe Clark is in the fortress and he's watching on a screen in his, like, you know, Kal-El chair talking to his robots, Kal-X there. Maybe he sees Bruce. Maybe he sees Batman doing something in Gotham. He's like, I'm going to have to make a trip to Gotham or something. And so then you have Batman. And then the Batman can segue into a Batman and Superman movie. And then you also have a Wonder Woman movie that comes out that year. And Wonder Woman shows up in that movie. Or there's like a Easter egg. Like there is a way to do it that makes sense. Because
I think they hired the wrong guy. I think Brad should be running the film division. Honestly, that's a great plan.
I messaged them like 15 years ago, and they said they don't accept scripts from people like unsolicited. Yeah, I already got a message back.
Dude, that was a great. I love that whole structure you had there. I remember in
3 movies a year, and each one.
Next year we're getting 4.
Yeah, what is it? Shazam, Aquaman, Flash.
What's the
other one?
Wait, which ones did you say?
Shazam, Aquaman, Shazam,
Flash.
Oh, I forget what is the third one
I don't remember.
or fourth one.
Was it a secret one they haven't announced yet?
No.
I got a brain like a sieve, so it's up to you to remember this.
I do like Amanda Waller. I do like that she keeps showing up. You know,
and she's a great take on the character.
A great take on the character, like
Blue Beetle. Thank you.
Blue Beetle.
That's right.
That's a movie, right? Not a show, right?
Yes.
It's a movie.
And they have the modern Blue Beetle. That looks sick.
It does.
Dude,
that looks sick.
Looks perfect.
Great casting too.
Well, I mean, listen, we can at least, revel that we had a good week being DC fans for a change. Usually, it's pretty doom and gloom. We got Henry
I hope
Cavill
it does.
back,
I hope it does well in the theaters. That like, it had a good opening, but like Aquaman made $1 billion. I would like it, but I mean, Wakanda Forever is not coming out this week, but next week, right?
Yeah,
so it's going to have some competition.
Oh no, Wakanda is going to like suck the air out of the. It's over.
That's the unfortunate part.
Black Adam needs to make. I don't think it's going to make $1 billion. Black Adam. I
No.
think it's going to make maybe 500 to 600 million.
Did they say that it needs to make 7 to break even?
Was that in the number?
I feel like it's going to do really well. Like it's right now, it's only tracking. What was it? Aquaman did 6.7, didn't it?
Yeah.
On opening weekend, and Black Adam did 6.
Okay.
So it's behind by 0.7, right? So it's $700,000.
We also have to take into consideration like overseas.
It is getting a China,
which is a huge market.
Yeah.
Huge market.
Batfan 1 says DC Comics still needs to be flushed down the toilet. Ouch, Batfan 1.
I disagree. Well, the movies or the comics? Like,
I mean, I take offense to either one of those.
Well,
I can be a Bat fan if you want DC Comics.
Hi, Maeve.
To be flushed down.
You know Maeve?
No, I'm just saying hi because she said hi.
Someone said hi to you, Brad, specifically like 20 comments ago. But,
who did?
Comics.
Oh, here we go. Hey, Brad, it's Benny. You know Benny?
Benny? Like, like my best friend's boy, Benny. I think so. Yeah, because
Aw,
I think that's him. If he's watching, how's it going, buddy? It is
Look at that.
10:31. No, he's gone to bed. It's a school night. He's gone to
Speaking of
bed.
which, guys, I do have to bounce. I'm sorry. I always feel like I'm the one who have to end their
It
lovely
is what it
chat.
is. We leave more for next time.
Exactly, guys. What a great show. What another great installment of the DC Infinite Hour. I think it went well.
The inaugural first official
First
meeting and
official
episode.
one.
Yeah,
Exactly. We will definitely do this again.
for sure.
In a few weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
And we have some new action figures coming out soon. Mongol, Frankenstein, they're on their
Yep.
way.
Yeah.
They're already starting to hit.
And we know that anything that he shows us eventually or comes out sooner than later. So all those figures
A week later, it'll be there. Yeah.
we'll have them soon, like much more sooner than later too.
Yeah.
So we can yak about those. Do we want to take time to really say thank you to people for showing up? Because there's a lot of people that showed up, and there's a lot of comments. So,
yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to everyone in the chat. Sorry we couldn't get to all of your comments.
yeah.
Roland, Stanky Boy, my DC figures, Alec,
Pack.
Sal, BWG,
Victor Hugo, Jake Amaya, the Meme Team TV.
Whacker Macker.
Yeah.
I mean, this is still new to us, so like we're
Forgive us. Forgive us.
We're gonna
Yeah, and it's just
work
us
out the
talking.
kinks. Yeah.
Yeah. If we had someone that was like H3 podcast where they just like bring up the comments and like show people and they mention things, that would be really easy. But we're talking to each other, so it's really challenging for us to get to all the comments all the time. When I'm by myself, I can do it, but Sasha Calais as the Puerto Rican Supergirl. I think she worked as that version. She worked as that version of Supergirl for sure.
And I hope we get to see her like continue in that role. We haven't even seen her at all yet, but hopefully they'll find a way to make it all work, together.
Well, it's the multiverse, right? As much as I want to see Kara, it is nice to see Sasha Calais as well, for sure.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen. Thanks again for doing this. Thank you to everyone in the chat. And I hope everyone has a great weekend and a spooky Halloween weekend. Ooh.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, everyone, and thanks for joining us.
Yes. Take care, man.
Take care, guys.